The biggest Saber update, Obi-Wan Episode 1 and 2 lightsaber, the new Depa Billaba's inspired lightsaber. I think it's the biggest hilt I've ever seen. I honestly think it is. Dueling saber, super light. Every saber will have the same core technology. And now they're 30% off. Hello there, Kevin here at the Saber Factory. Welcome to our monthly digest of March 2024. And this month, we will discuss, well, first, a little bit of news, because I got a few updates for you. But we'll go mostly in depth with looking at updated products, lightsabers, and accessories, as well as discovering new lightsabers. So, for instance, in this video, we'll talk about this updated Obi-Wan Episode 1 and 2 lightsaber that we discussed before, but now is a good time to look at it. And we will have new sabers to talk about, like this huge Marrok's lightsaber from the Ahsoka series, but also new dueling hilts, one that is inspired from a known character, Depa Billaba, which is Mace Windu's apprentice and Caleb Doom slash Kanan Jarrus master. So this is the new Depa Billaba's inspired lightsaber, and we'll also look at this new lightsaber, which is a completely made for dueling lightsaber, which is the Solemn. But first, we'll start with some news. And we'll start with our clearance sale in Europe. Just a quick update. It is still happening. We'll still have a couple references that you might be interested in. For instance, we do have two Cal Kestis hilts, as well as Qui-Gon Jinn, the old version of it, Darth Sidious, and Ahsoka, the curved hilts. Those sabers are still available in our clearance sale only for European customers, and now they're 30% off. So, yeah, run for it, because those are the very last items, and it is the best price you can ever get on them. It's not gonna go lower than that. So hit the saberfactory.com website and order those sabers. If you order anything else with it, it's going to be fulfilled in two different times, because one is going to be shipped to you directly straight out of our inventory, and other sabers would be made on order at factory. The other news that I have also is that we've changed a few things on the website to better display and inform on VHC compatibility for the sabers that are concerned. VHC compatibility is basically it is a standard threading system that's used by Nexus Saber that allows to either exchange parts between sabers or use VHC compatible accessories. And so far, I understand it wasn't necessarily very easy to understand what was compatible with what. Now you will see on the saberfactory.com that all the sabers, only dueling sabers, that have VHC threads on them, they are named with VHC in the product title. So that should make it easier for everyone to understand what saber actually has parts with the VHC thread system. It doesn't mean that all the threads are VHC, but if that's the case, then you will find more details in the product description. So you will know what specifics, this saber has. Does it have it on, across the board, or is it just one of the threads? Some sabers are just made of two parts, the full hilt and a pommel. And some sabers are three parts, an emitter, a core, and a pommel. And so it's not always easy to understand. We're trying to better inform everyone on the website, but if you have any doubt, hit the chat, ask me the question, of what you're trying to do, and I'll do my best to answer you. Still, I think this is a great update of the website, and with that, I think we're done with the news, and we can now go in depth looking at the updated sabers and products. So this month, we have the biggest saber update that I wanted to show you in depth is the Obi-Wan Episode 1 design. This is going to be our main topic today. in terms of updated designs, and then we'll go through the new sabers. The difference with the previous version that we had is that you do not have now the charging port and the button directly on the hilt. This has been made so that it's more screen accurate. So you can have a look. It is very screen accurate. A few things that are very different. We're going to turn it on. It's also going to be an opportunity to show you the slide out core that most character saber are not going to have. This is another major update that we discussed during last month monthly digest, but I didn't go too in depth in it. But I think it would be a great opportunity. Slide out cores now for character saber are very important because it introduces a system where every saber, whether it be a baselit or a neopixel, will have the same core technology. Because if you go with Xeno 3, I'm not talking about Profi cores, but Xeno 3 is same for baselit and NeoPixel. The difference is only the technology that allows NeoPixel to benefit more of the Xeno 3 technology, and Baselit have less functions. But that's it. Now the cores are standard. So basically you get a core system that is standard, whether it be Baselit or NeoPixel. It's got the pogo pin, and inside your saber, by the location where the button is, you now have a core matrix hub, that we could call it that, which basically acts as either a communication item between the button, the core, and the emitting system, which is either a NeoPixel pogo pin or a baselit lamp. And only this part will be different. So you have the same core, and you could technically switch it with other sabers, if they have the same construction. So the other thing is, and I've discussed it on other videos on the YouTube channel and on Instagram also, is the power switch. That I tend to call a kill switch because it used to be just to kill the power and stop the battery from draining. But now, actually, it really is a power switch, because if it's off, you cannot even charge the battery. I understand that, and I've made a video about that even if you have it off, you plug the saber, it still gives you sound cues, but it's misleading, I understand. I hope this will change in the future. But Nexus has introduced this power switch so that you can save your battery from draining when it's not in use. Also, when you turn it on, something that you will have to do on any new saber. Now that it's on, you can insert it in your saber, and like many character saber that Nexus is upgrading, now the control is here with this central matrix hub. So now you can see now, so this version now, you can see the color of your blade. So if I put a blade in, you can see the light is gonna shine through those little beads here, as well as the button. And then, I mean, for the rest, there isn't much else to say. It will work as any other Xeno 3, but now the button is integrated here, and yeah, you don't have any visible charging port or button that wouldn't be screen accurate. So yeah, there it is. There it is. This is the new Obi-Wan redesigned hilt, and with the new slide out core technology that basically allows you, if let's say you buy it with a baselit emitter, at some point, for I would say very fair price of, just a few $dozen and not 100. Like a full core usually is around 80 bucks. Okay, this part here is like, depending on the saber, it's between $30 to $50. You can change this and have it replaced with a NeoPixel version if you ever change your mind, or if you stop dueling with this saber, let's say, and now you really just want a NeoPixel. You can do it because your core is compatible and can deliver everything a NeoPixel can deliver. The other thing you can do is, of course, use a NeoPixel to baselit adapter. So here I have, so these are just the NeoPixel lights, but now if I put this in, now I have a baselit, and if I use a baselit blade, now I have a baselit. As you can see, it's deep enough that the light beads still illuminate, so you can definitely use one of those adapters with the Obi-Wan hilt. So that's it for the Obi-Wan hilt. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there, and we're going to move on to a quick update about the Deceitful. The Deceitful is one of our best sellers in terms of dueling lightsabers, and it's got just a quick update. You can see it's a new color scheme. It's now available on the saberfactory.com, so get there. The other thing is also a very quick product update. I've talked about it, but I didn't have the opportunity to show it to you. But the Beskar design now has this great engraved pattern that is way better than the previous one that we used to have a long time ago. I actually did remove it from the catalog because I didn't like the look of it, which was a wrapped design, so it's kind of a plastic wrap over the aluminum, and now it's engraved aluminum. It looks amazing, and yeah, I think it's a welcome update. It's been on the website for quite some time. I just didn't have the opportunity to show it to you, so now yeah, you can see it. So those are the updated products that I wanted to show you this month in our in-depth look. The slide-out cores, basically, not all sabers can have it, and we will see that in a minute with this one, Marrok's. And it's a great transition because it allows me to start with the first new saber that we've added during this month of March that I wanted to show you in depth. Marrok's lightsaber. So for those of you who are not sure, this is Marrok from the Ahsoka series. It is a mysterious character that we suppose was an Inquisitor. And he's got this typical Inquisitor lightsaber design that with the ring that unfolds like this. So this one is big. This one is huge. I want you to see the comparison with this is the Grand Inquisitor hilt from inspired from the design of the Grand Inquisitor in Rebels. Okay, so yeah, it's a big one. 1.4 kilograms, I think. This one, which in pounds, I'm not great at converting pounds to kilograms, but I think it's 3.1. I guess it's a little above 3 pounds. Just the hilt. This one is only available in Xeno 3 NeoPixel, and you will see why. Is that you wouldn't duel with that saber. It's absolutely impossible. First, it's way too heavy, and two, it's it's screen accurate. So lightsabers in movies and series, they look cool, but they could kill you. Like those things, they are quite dangerous. So I wouldn't. I would try to not be too stupid with it. Okay, that's what I would try to. I would hurt myself just demoing it to you. So. Yeah, it's really a hilt meant for display, for your collection. It's a hilt that would do great with a cosplay. You know, you can show it off, turn it on, do a couple things with it, but you wouldn't duel with it. So the baselit option was never really needed for this one, and you can always use those amazing adapters and put it in. It completely fits. It still leaves you enough room to put your blades in. So, and you would use small blades on this one, like 28 inches blades. So, yeah, it's still a great option to have this little adapter in, and yeah. So, on this saber, of course, it's got a solo core, one board that works the two sides at the same time, of course, because it's one blade basically, but it's divided in two. So it's not two cores like two sabers coupled in the middle. So basically, motion controls will work. If you've ever tried a double-bladed staff with two sabers together, when you're turning one side, it's basically sending the opposite command to the other saber. So I like this option. Also with the NeoPixel, if you want, you can only use one blade. The other side, you will just have the lights from the NeoPixel pins. So it's not too much. You know, it doesn't blind you when, you know, when I do that. I mean, I don't know how it gives on camera, but it wouldn't blind anyone. So you could use just one blade if you wanted. But yeah, so again, here, if I wanted to use just one blade, I could. Of course, you would still have this one on and you can't turn it off. It's not possible because it's one core, one board for the whole thing. And by the way, this imposes a certain restrictions in terms of what you can do with the core. So this core doesn't have a kill switch, and it's not really accessible for maintenance. I'm going to show you a video that I'm making that I will upload on the channel too, that basically disassembles the saber so you can see how it's built. Do not disassemble this saber except for accessing the SD card, and I will show you where it is. Follow my advice here, but I just wanted to make this disassembly video to show you the construction of this saber and how intricate and detailed this manufacturing is, and it goes to show that Nexus is really improving the sabers that I would see with them made like 3 years ago. They didn't look like that. So this is a trigger button, and here you have two screws that open this little hatch part, and behind there you have your SD card, and that's all you need. Of course, because you cannot like access a slide out core, you do not have a power switch, a kill switch. So yeah, the charging port is, so I'm going to just close this. The charging port is actually on the hilt. Here you have a little protection. Don't lose it. And there you have your USB-C charging port. So yeah, you don't need anything else. Button, charging port, and here behind this little door you have your SD card, just two screws to take them out. The rings are held by magnets, so strong magnets. They work quite well, but it's different from the Grand Inquisitor saber because like this mechanism is a little more, I'd say, light, more supple, so it's not that hard to move and to open. And here the click, you have this 90-degree position, 180 degree position, and same thing on this side. So it sort of locks in place in those positions, but it really is for display, because like if you're trying to use it in any of those positions, at some point, if you know, go like this, it's all right, but you know, like a strong move like this will set it out of its locking position, and it's gonna move. So that's fine as long as you work, you know, in the intended way it's supposed to turn. You're fine. It's not gonna go nowhere. But yeah, Heavy piece, beautiful piece. So many parts compose this hilt, and I refer to you to the disassembly video that I will post soon, and I'm putting just some little extracts on this one. Yeah, looks great, super heavy, big piece. I think it's the biggest hilt I've ever seen so far. I don't know. I honestly think it is. So yeah, it doesn't have the carrying case that most character sabers do have. It's got a dedicated box, given the format, you'd understand. So yeah, that's Marrok's lightsaber, new hilt. Next we have Depa Billaba's lightsaber. So Depa Billaba is an hybrid saber. It will be it currently is in our character section because it is inspired from Depa Billaba's saber, even though the color scheme is not the color scheme of the known saber of Depa Billaba as seen in Clone Wars. Still, it looks dope like this. So it is an inspired hilt, and it is also in our dueling range because it is light. There's no bit that could hurt you, like this very small fake control box. It's nothing. It's all right. So you could definitely duel with this. Integrated button here, and of course slide out core in it. Same thing with the central matrix hub that allows you to convert this from a baselit to a neopixel with just a replacement of a smaller, less expensive piece if we ever needed to. Ask us in the chat. And again, it is a saber that you can absolutely use with the neopixel to baselit adapter. You just slide it in. Of course, using those adapters, I should remind you that it is not the best option if you're planning on dueling very frequently and very intensively, because you're basically adding a moving piece, between your blade and a neopixel pogo pin. So you're, depending if, let's say your blade is not tight enough and at some point it gives a little wiggle room, it might hurt a pogo pin or something. So always be very careful when you use those to duel with, to make sure that everything is, tight, good, and not loose and weird, or just smashing things in your saber. Always pay attention, because you're adding a part that screams damage if you don't pay attention. But this is a great option for those who want to spin sabers. And yeah, options and honesty. I'm telling you, this adapter is great, but just don't be too crazy with it. Adding parts in the middle of other parts is always a recipe for a little more, let's say, paying attention. Anywho, the saber looks great. I love it. I hope you will too. It is not too expensive, so it can honestly be a great choice for dueling saber. Very great design, very original design. I love it. Next, we have the Solemn. This is a new hilt. Dueling saber, super light. It's a tiny bit lighter than this one, actually. You can feel a little difference. The weight is on the website, available down here. And so this hilt is very simple. It is minimalist design, full aluminum as always. I love the color scheme. It is simple. It's got this open emitter here so you can see your blade through. So simple lightsaber. You could put if you choose NeoPixel, you could put a NeoPixel 2 baselit adapter in there, but look at what happens. if you do, you will actually see it. So the NeoPixel will sit a little lower than the baselit. Here it's a baselit, but if you do, you may see it a little bit here. So yeah, it's still compatible. It still works with it. It's not just the best option. It is a VHC Saber. So, but it already has a Covetech wheel, so you may not need it. So yeah, another great new option for the dueling range that hasn't necessarily changed too much. We've had a lot of custom designed sabers added to the catalog in the past, I'd say 12 months, but not that many dueling sabers. So this is a really great opportunity now to have this new design. Love it. This is called the Solemn, and you can find it on the website, thesaberfactory.com. It is a dueling saber, and this one, unlike Depa Billaba's, that is more, let's say, a character saber. This one doesn't have a slide out core. So this is a standard core saber. So also the idea behind slide out cores being just for character saber is that you want to have the best technology, and for those sabers that are quite expensive. And these are dueling sabers that are absolutely, completely, 100% made for dueling. They're made to suffer. And right now, they're also made to be at the best price possible. And having two separate parts and having this core construction that's a little more complex would raise the price of those sabers. So I think for now, until it becomes, I would say, something less expensive, I think it's a great thing that Nexus keeps the single simple core solution for dueling sabers like this, because it makes them cheaper. It allows us to keep with this very low pricing that we're trying to have at all times. So yeah, this is a great option available at thesaberfactory.com. And with that, I'm done with the new sabers of this month of March. And so the only thing left is Kyle Katarn. If you have followed me on Instagram or YouTube, I have talked about the new Kyle Katarn hilt. It is coming. I don't know if I'll be able to do an in-depth and to add it to the catalog during the month of April. I'm not absolutely sure it will be here this month and I'll be able to review it, but it's coming. It was announced a little too early, and factory realized that there were some little quirks that needed to be fixed before mass production. So I decided to not sell it because I didn't want to do pre-orders or anything. So I will wait until I have the final go from factory, which is coming in I don't know, I'm expecting it in the next few days. And from there I will add it to the catalog. Loving character, Kyle Katarn from the Dark Forces series, and then Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, and all. And yeah, so this saber is going to be available, I believe, this month, hopefully, and then I'll review it. That's the next one to come, and then that's it. I can't foresee what will happen in the month of April that we'll discuss in the next monthly digest. Again, if there is no need for a monthly digest, I won't do it. But yeah, I hope that you found all of this very useful. So yeah, I love how manufacturing is improving. Those sabers are being now more and more complex, more screen accurate, but also more intricate in terms of the way they're manufactured, the precision, and in how complex they can make them, like this one. I also had just only praise for Seer Junda's saber past month because of this. Also the weathering is great on Seer Junda's saber, I think. Yeah, so basically Nexus is learning to mass produce even more complex sabers. One thing that is very important and that should be discussed in further videos is an update that's coming up to the site. Is we're going to rate the Bluetooth capabilities of lightsabers, because we're facing something that is being brought to us quite frequently. That is, some sabers have a hard time connecting with the app through Bluetooth. And that is because some hilts, like this one, are super thick. Like the thickness of this, it's a piece over another piece of metal to achieve this design. And what it creates is that some sabers have too thick a hilt, or elements that are exactly in the way of the Bluetooth antenna, and this is standard. We are selling standardized core technology in customized hilts. So the hilt design has to be screen accurate. So for dueling sabers, it's not really an issue, but for character saber, there is screen accuracy through respect, and then there is the board and the core that is sort of standard across the range. And sometimes Bluetooth doesn't work well with some sabers for the reasons that I just talked about, thickness and all. This means that some sabers will have a hard time remaining connected more than a few seconds to the app. And so if you want to tweak your saber in like set your blade length, brightness and motion controls and the blade modes that you want on and off, do it with the core out of the saber, or like just like with the pommel or the grip section removed. And from there, do what you have to do, because you'll have a great connectivity if there is no aluminum in the middle. And then close your saber. It will disconnect from the app, and now you have your buttons. You can use blaster, lightning block, and all. But the app is not. It was never meant to be something that is there at all times with you to control the saber. It is only there for you to set the saber the way you want it to be set, and then be done with it, at least for the session that you're having right now. So this is going to be more and more important, because now with sabers being more screen accurate, it brings sort of a compromise now with some sabers having difficulty working in Bluetooth due to the thickness of the hilt. That is going to be addressed in another video, and also the website will be updated to basically give you a rating to tell you when there is low Bluetooth capabilities to access your saber settings that you used to be able to access through an SD card. So the app still makes it so much easier, but you may not be able with all sabers to do it with the saber closed and the core inside the hilt. So yeah, we'll address that, and I will keep you posted. So yeah, follow us on Instagram, also TikTok, Facebook, and subscribe to this channel. Like this video, it helps us spread the word, spread the passion, and show these lightsabers to more people. Yeah, thank you for watching. I hope this was entertaining, if not useful, mostly, and may the Force be with you.